Welcome dart players one and all. Today I want to talk to you about elbow height. I've seen a lot of professional darts coaches online talk about elbow height and they all say exactly the same thing. And it's generally right, but it's not always right. And that's what I want to go through with you today. The general thing that they talk about with elbow height is keeping your elbow up nice and tall, around about 90 degrees. So your elbow is slightly facing upward on this arc. This will allow you to pull the dart back nice and smooth and push through. It can work, it does work for most players, but everyone is different. And with me, for example, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", not the tallest person, but I do have incredibly long arms. I don't know why, I do. So, for example, if I do that, if I keep my elbow up exactly where I'm aiming, where my eyesight is, my wrist is in the way. I can't see anything. So I'm having to wait to get to here before I can aim. But if I'm aiming here, I've only got this much drawback, I've got no power in the dart at all. So with myself, I like to put my arm down ever so slightly, so I'm at a slight angle. It's still high, it's not down like this, but just under, so that I can look over the flight and down the shaft, pull it back and follow through. Another thing I'd like to point out is the amount of impact your elbow height can have on the power of your dart. So if my elbow is up at 90 degrees and I'm pulling back to here, I'm having to push through quite fast with the dart to get through it nice and straight. You see a lot of players do that, like Michael Smith, in which he just picks the dart right up, his elbow's nice and high, and he flicks through it. Very, very fast follow through. Other players, maybe like Steve Beaton, he doesn't have his arm quite as high up, it's just a little bit further down. Now this can activate this muscle on the top of your arm. This gives you a lot more buoyancy in the throw, almost like it's being springboarded. So if you can just imagine, just try this yourself. Pick your arm up nice and high, pull it back and push your arm out, nice and straight. Lower your elbow a little bit and do the same thing. And feel how these muscles start to contract at the top of your arm. It's much easier for some players to go with a slightly lower elbow. It depends on your height, it depends on the length of your arm, the weight of your dart plays a big part of it. Of course, this is increasing your power by lowering your elbow a little bit. So if you've got a lighter dart, that might benefit you. It's completely down to you, and it's trial and error. I use a 22 gram dart. I've tried every weight from 10 grams to 32 grams over the course of 10 years. Well, over 10 years. What am I saying? God, there was that. I don't even want to think about it. But that is the key aspect. As long as this arm is up nice and straight, you're pushing through correctly, this doesn't matter half as much. You don't want to be down here. If you're down here, I mean, you've got no power again. It's too far. Anything from here right up high, you can pull the dart back and go through. Down to here is fine. It's about finding what's right for you though. It's completely down to what you like. So for professionals to say keep that elbow high, as a general rule, yeah, it's not bad. It's a good practice to have, but it's not set in stone. I don't do it, and I've tried it for years, and I genuinely thought that was the correct way to do it, and I stuck with it for years and years and years, and I kept having problems aiming the dart. Sometimes I genuinely just couldn't see certain targets on the board because my hand was so high. And then one day I just thought, well, I'm going to lower it. I was naturally lowering it, going for targets like double 16 that I lower down on the board. Of course, this is something you have to do. So if I'm going for treble 20, my arm will be here. If I'm going for double 16, I keep the arm straight, but my body posture changes. You can see my elbows having to drop along with my back tilting. Very, very important thing to do. What you do not want to do, and loads of players do it, especially beginners, is they will throw at the treble 20, get their elbow nice and straight, they'll know exactly what they're doing, and when it comes to throwing at 16s, rather than doing this, they'll do this. It's a completely different angle of throw. if you've managed to get this right, and this is going well, why throw at a different target like that? Makes no sense. But a lot of people do it. Don't be one of them. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching Straight to the Point. Please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, the links can be found in the description below. As always, I hope this helps your game, and subscribe if you love the darts.